Allora, for the third match, we have another good 7 cards keep, so we can try to keep it. But starting and the opponent, so if I don't draw another land, I should discard something, probably plus Sentinel. Usually the opponent plays Affinity or a sort of tempo deck, Dimir Delver usually, and have a turn 1 Delver, so probably that's Dimir Delver. Having a lot of removal spells is actually not bad against Dimir Delver, because if they don't have a Monarch, they mostly win by having too many creatures on the battlefield. We have a better late game, so if they don't have a real fast start, usually we are able to win in mid game by destroying all the relevant threats and then getting a ton of card advantage, because all our creatures, excluding Guardian of the Guild Pact, are card advantage creatures. I don't really want to play Bonder's Ornament here, because I can play Equine Decaying during their upkeep to kill their Delver of Secrets, or wasting one of their removal spells. So they play Counterspell, as expected. Right now the best draw will be an untapped land to play both Ornament and Sinner's Edict, but at this point I prefer to play just Sinner's Edict to kill their Delver, and next turn I can play Bonder's Ornament or Golden Egg. They probably have a counterspell. I guess we can let them counter this Bonder's Ornament. Or Spike. Okay. So I should play against Fort Spike. I should play around Fort Spike. They draw Gurmag Angler. Wow. We can try to kill it with cast down in their upkeep, just because I think they probably have another counterspell, and it's better to force the opponent to tap their mana during their turn instead of during my turn. Maybe they have a Monarch, or probably they have only removal spells. By the way, not drawing lands will be problematic, but fortunately they didn't draw anything relevant. And I draw another land finally, so next turn I can play Krorsky Fisher, or try to play first a Guardian of the Guild Pact and then another Guardian of the Guild Pact. Because if they don't draw an Agony Warp or a counterspell to resolve my Guardian of the Guild Pact, I can just stick a Guardian and force them to not have... Oh, they had an exclude, okay. Which is great, I think, because they excluded a Krorsky Fisher instead of Guardian of the Guild Pact. And at this point of the game, it's probably better to force the opponent counter Krorsky Fisher instead of Guardian of the Guild Pact. Because Guardian of the Guild Pact can block Gurmag Angler and can also steal their Monarch. So they don't have another counterspell, or they don't want to waste it for my Krorsky Fisher. Miscalculation. That's not really problematic, because we have enough resources now. So they use the 2 cards to interact with my Krorsky Fisher. They have a Monarch or an Angler? Another Angler. If I draw a land, I can play Guardian plus Sinner's Edict, but having draw a Travel Inspector. Okay, they have only 2 cards in hand. Guardian, they can kill it with both Agony Warp and Generous Edict, so I play first Travel Inspector, crack the clue, let's see what I draw, and then play Generous Edict. That way, I'm able to to see another card, put a creature on the battlefield, and eventually draw another land for the next turn. Also, I was able to draw Ash Barrens, and I fetch for the second white mana, which will be more relevant than another black mana right now, because I can play Custody Squire, bring back Kursky Fisher, play Korsky Fisher, return Custody Squire in hand, and play again Custody Square the next turn. With Travel Inspector on the battlefield, I can obviously play Guardian of the Guild Pact. If they have a counterspell, I can play Custody Square the next turn. They conceded because they didn't draw anything relevant beside a bunch of creatures, and I just draw only spells and only good spells. Until now, I had a lot of luck in this league, and usually I'm not so lucky, I guess, but I think that's just better for this video, no? Okay, against Dimir Velver, compared to Dimir Ferris, Pestilence is not great. So we cut Prismatic Strength and Cryprats and also Pestilence, because we don't really need anti-aggro cards. Usually 1-for-1 removal spells or Castigate is better, because are better formed to interaction. Especially Ashes to Ashes, which can exile, Stormbound Guest, and 2 creatures with a single card is really great in this matchup. I don't really like Relic of Progenitus because the Graveyard, I think that's more important for me compared to my opponent, because I have cards like Omen of the Dead, Custody Squire, and Reaping the Graves, which are really great in the mid and late game. I can eventually cut my Palace Sentinel, but since they don't have Spellstutter Sprite, it's easier to win the game with Palace Sentinel. I obviously bring in enough copy of Castigate. Eventually I can cut 1 Generous Edict, or 1 Echoing Decay, or 1 Palace Sentinel to add the 4th copy of Castigate. I think that starting second, I can cut 1 copy of Palace Sentinel to bring on the 4th Castigate. If they are starting first, they have a lot of creatures. Palace Sentinel is just bad. Castigate at last can exile 1 of their removal spells or counter spells, or maybe a creature. So that's 4-5 lands, and with a Travel Inspector and a dead card, so I guess I can mulligan it, and that's much better. I can cut a Orzhov Basilica, or a tap, or a Radiant Fountain, or an Ash Barrens. I think I can cut Ash Barrens, because Orzhov Basilica is basically a form of card advantage, and if I keep Radiant Fountain, I can't cast Castigate on turn 2, I can cast only Generous Edict, so basically I'm taking the risk to not resolve on turn 2 a Delver to have a better land compared to Ashes to Ash, compared to Radiant Fountain. Oh, they had an exclude. Ornament is good. Both mana fixer, mana ramp, and a form of card advantage, and also it forces the opponent to counter it. Okay, so I'll play Radiant Fountain, then I'll choose between Travel Inspector, but I have exclude, Ornament, or Generous Edict. I can play Generous Edict just because they have only one creature, and if they play a Stormbound Geist, Generous Edict will be bad. If I play Ornament, they'll counter it with Counter Spell or Negate, or maybe Force Spike. But having double casting in hand, I can take some time to try to counter. That's unexpected. They probably have a Gurmagangler in hand. Or another counterspell. Or another counterspell plus a Gurmagangler. So having the Basilica, okay, Guest will be bad, I guess. Well, if I draw Ashes to Ashes, will be not so bad. I'll play Ornament, Basic Land, and Castigate. So this turn is not bad, and wow, I should exile the Return of Black Rose. So next turn I can play Castigate to exile the Exclude. Wow. Okay. I guess it's time to draw that that Ashes to Ashes. I can probably play Ardent Fountain just to draw with my clue. Yeah, it's better. Have a double block here for Ogre of Bolas. I Castigate. In the eventuality I draw Ashes to Ashes. I can eventually waste one or two removal spells on a Stormbound Geist. Guardian of the Guild Pact. I prefer to draw with Ornament. There's not really any reason to leave the one white mana open, because I think I don't want to play Traveling Spectre with them having 3 mana open to cast their Exclude. So I can play Orzhov Basilica just to play the tapped land pass. There's no reason to protect this Guardian of the Guild Pact. And there's no reason to play Guardian of the Guild Pact now. So I prefer to draw extra cards with Ornament. I just need to find my do this. I just need Ashes to Ashes, and they probably take Castigate, which is the only card doing anything right now. So they have Exclude, something else which I don't know. I'll tap some mana. Let's see what they draw. Okay. There's no reason to play Bojuka Bog right now. Probably I'll play Bojuka Bog just because they can't play Angler the next turn. Next turn I can play first Guardian of the Guild Pact to force the opponent to counter it with Exclude. And then, if they don't have enough mana open, I can play Ashes to Ashes to exile their Starbound Geist, which would be really great. Double Castle down. I think they'll not fall for this. Oh, okay. That's good for me. I probably should play around Spell Pierce and And for spike, so I'll play first Radiant Fountain, and they don't have Snuff Out, right? That's good. Okay, Ashes to Ashes basically did the game. I think I should play again around for spike and spell pierce. I don't want to waste my resources. So I'll play first Radiant Fountain. We can pass. See what they draw with their Delver ability. They draw another counter spell. And then force their answers on this Delver, this spell. Let's see if they have another dispel. Another counter spell. Wait. Fetch first. Golden Egg is extra life, not really bad now. So if I draw a Korske Fisher, Ripping Ray is not really relevant. I don't have any creature in my graveyard beside the Guardian of the Guild that can't block Insectile Aberration. Another Traven Inspector is not bad. So let's draw another card. So they know that I have a swamp in hand. I can pass. Fetch Ashes to Ashes, draw another card. Next turn, crack Golden Egg, which basically is a fog effect because getting 3 lives with only a single Delver of Secrets in the battlefield is just an extra turn. What I draw, 2 mana, Behold the Multiverse for Telled. Fetch for black. Draw a card with 1 ornament. Draw another creature. Castigate is somewhat acceptable, I think. Chinar's Edict. It's fine, I guess. Oops. I'll play Chinar's Edict. I think they'll not waste a counterspell on this Chinar's Edict. So they sacrifice only their Delver. And then I can gain some life with my Golden Egg. Thankfully I draw enough life again, but right now I'm not well positioned. By the way, next turn I can play Castigate and Chinar's Edict, but if they draw another creature will be useless. Okay, so they don't have a Gurmag Angler, they probably have a Chinar's Edict or something similar. If I draw a Ramal spell, Snuff Out, so Korske Fisher will be useless. Echo Indicate is great. I'll start with draw 1 card with Bonder's Ornament. Then I'll play Castigate. Counterspell. That's fine. Spare Supplies. If I draw Radiant Fountain or Kabira Cross or something similar, I play it. Another Castigate is great actually. So I can play first Castigate. Let's see if they have a realm of spells, maybe a Echo Indicate or something similar. And then play Echo Indicate and kill their Delver. Agony Warp, Chinar's Edict, Force Spike, Gurmag Angler, and Snuff Out. Angler is not very problematic right now. Chinar's Edict can kill my Guardian, But I guess exiling their Agony Warp is the best option now. Sayonara Agony Warp. Sayonara Adios, Daughter of Secrets. And I have still 2 lives left. They don't have any more their Agony Warp, so I can resolve my Guardian of the Guild Pact unless they draw another counterspell with this top decked Ponder. Starting next turn I can try to get some extra lives. Probably if I draw Kosuke Fisher, I'll bounce 1 Radiant Fountain to not die from a single attack from their from a Delver of Secrets or Starband Geist. Okay. They did not shuffle with Ponder. Draw another ornament. I don't have any more Castigate left in my deck, so there's no reason to draw first with ornament. I can crack Spare Supplies, there's no reason to keep it for Kosuke Fisher. I have 3 copies of Traveling Spectre. I draw a Kosuke Fisher, which is great, I think. I'll bounce 1 Traveling Spectre, and then I can play Ornament and Traveling Spectre. I can also crack the Clue, try to find a land, and I found Omen of the Dead, which is great. So they have a Snuff Out, they can kill my Kosuke Fisher, but it's not anymore relevant. What they draw, 3 mana. Is another Stormbucket Geist, maybe? Okay, another Stormbucket Geist will be bad, because I bring it back a Traveling Spectre instead of a Radiant Fountain. Oh, that's just a Monarch, which is bad. I can't attack with a Monarch on the battlefield. If I attack and I steal their Monarch, this dude becomes unblockable and I don't have enough lives. It's very bad. And I think that's the reason why this Monarch is better against the black based deck instead of the black one. Another Kosuke Fisher. I guess I can play Omen of the Dead, but targeting my Guardian of the Guild Pact and play Kosuke Fisher, bringing back Omen of the Dead, or just play Kosuke Fisher and bounce back a Radiant Fountain. With their Monarch I can't attack, but if they attack, there's no real reason to attack probably. Let's see if they... Okay, they don't play Snuff Out because they want to attack with other Fleet Admiral. I guess bringing back the Omen of the Guardian of the Guild Pact with Omen of the Dead is the best choice. And then what I do really want to do, I think I'll just draw an extra card with Traveling Spectre next turn. There's no reason to bring back Omen of the Dead right now, because I need a removal spell for this dude. With a Kabira Cross and then attacking them just to steal their Monarch was clearly a reasonable play, because I will be able to survive. And right now I can't attack anymore if they have an answer for a spell for this dude. But anyway, I just need to draw some life in effect, I guess. Oh, well, by the way, I have a double Bonders Ornament, so the only problem about the Monarchy is letting them keeping their Monarch for too much time. I'll play the Square Barons and pass. So, oh, I don't have any more lands left in my deck, so there's no reason to cycle these Ash Barons. I can't attack. It's not targeting my Kursk Fisher, right? Right. So now I should draw some more copies of Generous Edict. Monarch becomes automatically a problem only if they draw enough answers to my game plan. If they don't, it's not much relevant. Since I have double Potter's Ornament on the battlefield and I have a lot of mana for that reason. Only for that. Or because, well, if you play, for example, Flickertron and you have a Ghost of Flicker, double non-equal, and virtually infinite mana, the Monarch is not much relevant if the opponent doesn't have any form of interaction, because they can draw two or more cards for turn, but you basically have infinite cards, and they don't have any way to interact with your Flicker loop. Just just to say a stupid example. So now the opponent should think of a way to win this game, because I can't wait. They can't. They need to find answers to this piece of Guardian of the Guild Pact. They have a Generous Edict. Kurmag Angler, they play There's No Fault, they have a Force Spike. Okay, they have another copy of Kurmag Angler, right. 3 mana. Okay, that's Kurmag Angler. Their best way to win this game is probably playing all their creatures and me not drawing enough resources. But virtually I can draw more cards compared to them. But I don't have a lot of cards in my deck, so I should figure out a way to not die in a stupid way. They probably want to counter this Kursk Fisher. Nope. Okay. So I'll play Ornament, bring back Kursk Fisher. Play Kursk Fisher, and I'll bring back again Ornament. I'll play a Swamp, pass. I probably try to win with a single swing, or I need to find my other answers because I have enough Generous Edict. Also, if I found Radiant Fountain, I can like a Beer Crossroads, I can gain enough life to not die from a single swing from an Azure Fleet Admiral and win in 2 or more attack. Okay. So now that I found the Generous Edict, I can start killing their creatures. First, I flashback Generous Edict. Then I'll play another Generous Edict from my hand. I don't want to flashback it right now because I have only 4, 6, 7 mana and they have a Force Spike in their hand. I can play also Basilica and bounce my Radiant Fountain. I'll pass. I'm not attacking. They can't attack Aether, so they basically need too many removal spells. That's another Gourmet Angler, right? So, yep, they fetched for to exile another Termalifica expense. Another card from the graveyard. Okay. Not really troublesome. That's good. I can start with a cast down targeting the Azure Fleet Admiral, because I guess they have a dispel or not, or a counter spell to counter my cast down, so there's no reason to not play it. I can then flashback General's Edict. They'll sacrifice an Angler probably. Yep, and that's great. What to say? Don't know. I can play Fountain, attack with my Korsky Fisher, and then next turn attack with all my Korsky Fisher and Guardian of the Guildpact, and then that will be 12 damages. But first, I guess I can draw an extra card with Ornament. Spare Supplies. But Yukibog is not really relevant. Since I have 4 lives, I can proceed to attack with all my Korsky Fisher, and let's see what the opponent will have. So, no removal spells. I can pass. And next turn I will be lethal, I guess. So I discard any useless card. Maybe discarding Chevaliers wasn't really great because it's an untapped land, and now I have only untapped land. Discarding Silver Quill Campus of Vujukabal will be probably better. I can't block Azure Fleet Admiral, but that's only 3 damages, so unless they have a direct way to pump this creature or to deal direct damage, I can survive for an extra turn, and then maybe I have enough creatures to attack. I'm not sure. Oh, that's great. Okay, I'll draw an extra card with Spire Supplies. Oh. So they have 9 lives left. They probably have a counterspell effect. I guess I can first draw a card. Okay, that's game over, I guess. Now they can't, or they counter this General's Edict, or they sacrifice their Monarch. And the last General's Edict was a GG. Yeah, that was exactly the last General's Edict. And this game, I won thanks to Bunder's Ornament, and also thanks to Omen of the Dead. Omen of the Dead with Korsky Fisher is a grindy engine, basically. Is not really card advantage, but is a way to disrupt the opponent or the opponent resources, because anytime we play Korsky Fisher, they waste 1 removal spell, and then again I bring back the Korsky Fisher and play again and bring back Omen of the Dead. General's Edict, as I the end of this game good because I was able to play Ashes to Ashes, exiling double Starbound Geist. If I didn't add this single copy of Ashes to Ashes, basically Chainer's Edict will be not really great in this game. So I'm very happy about Ashes to Ashes in the current metagame.